Broadcasting from 88.3 WXUT Toledo Studio, this is your Saturday morning weekly news update. It is 7:45 in the morning, and today is November the 13th. I'm Matthew Revilla, and I'm still covering the news for this week. It is expected to be sunny with a high of 43 and a low of 35 degrees. These stories were researched and reported by student journalists at UT10 News. Let's begin. Last month, we covered how the Texas bill limiting abortions could impact policy in Ohio. Now, a new bill is being introduced closer to home. If passed, House Bill 480 could make all abortions illegal in Ohio. It is similar to the Texas bill as it relies on members of the public to enforce the law by reporting people who have abortions, and encourages lawsuits against abortion providers. Political science expert Dr. Samuel Nelson at U Toledo says this style bill is unconstitutional because its enforcement requires suing someone who's not directly affecting you.
I think it does have a chance of passing, but some people in the state might think, well, why should the state of Ohio spend a bunch of money defending this law in court when Texas is already doing it?
Dr. Nelson and pro-choice advocates say that as a result of this bill, there may be an increase in unsafe at-home abortions, and far more women could attempt to travel out of state for the procedure. State Representative Jenna Powell co-wrote the bill with a pro-life group called Live Action. Director of Government Affairs Noah Brandit feels confident the bill will be passed.
The bill dropped in the Ohio House with over 30 sponsors, I think 33 sponsors overall, which is a really impressive showing for legislation like this, so we're confident that Representative Powell can get it done.
The bill does provide some medical exceptions, but not for cases of incest or rape. However, it prohibits a rapist from filing a lawsuit against a victim they impregnated. Revisiting another story from last month, we reported on an increase in catalytic converter thefts in Toledo. Since then, the issue has grown. The University of Toledo Police Department says there is currently an investigation into a number of catalytic converter thefts that have occurred on campus. These thefts have taken place in the late evening and early hours of the morning. Theft and crime occurring on campus can be reported anonymously. A link can be found at ut10news.com. Catalytic converter thefts are not the only thing you need to worry about. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, but with supply chain issues, this may cause your Thanksgiving meal this year to be lacking. This year, many people are looking to have enormous celebrations to make up for the past year. Store manager of Walt Churchill's Dave Dulling in Perrysburg states that with a shortage of employees and continuing concerns over COVID, finding turkeys and other dishes for your Thanksgiving meal may be harder this year. To make up for the demand, Churchill's will have to substitute from other suppliers.
We have two other sources that we can buy from that are both good suppliers that can fill in when we're out of something, which is what we did a lot during COVID. We were able to replace out of stocks from our other two suppliers that we can buy from.
There's also concerns over rising prices, which may make you spend more money for your turkeys as well as normal groceries. In more colorful news, the Toledo Arts Commission is getting ready to launch their annual art box, a special box that contains a set of supplies that can be used by people of all ages, skill level, and interest. These boxes have two purposes. The first is to give those who are interested in art a creative project to work on at home. The second is to educate people around local and regional artists by bringing light to their work. The box contains two art guides that help people identify different works of art and who made them. The books contain instructions from local artists on how to create a variety of different artworks related to them with the given supplies. All earnings from the art box go back into a fund for the Toledo Arts Commission to continue launching projects like this in the future. Moving on to sports, the basketball season is about to get started at UT. But first, the Rockets volleyball team hosted the Eastern Michigan Eagles last weekend. The volleyball team was able to get last Friday, November 5th, with a 3-game sweep on the Eagles. The first set had a bit of back and forth, for no team was able to get more than a 2-point lead on the other. The match was tied until junior Senior Ulawe helped to break away from the Eagles with 3 straight points. This would be enough to win the first set, with a score of 25-20. The second set wasn't as competitive as the first one was, for it was all Toledo with a score of 25-16. All Toledo had to do now was to win the third set to win the match. However, Easter wouldn't go down without a fight. The Eagles would give it all they had, but proved to not be enough. The two teams were tied 22 before the Rockets would go down on a score with the next 3 points, effectively ending the night for the Eagles. Olivia and classmate Olivia Vance helped lead the way for Toledo, with the two each getting 12 kills apiece. The following night, Saturday, November 6th, would start out a little differently than the night before, with the Eagles firing right out of the gate, winning the first set 25-22. However, after the first set, it was all Toledo for the rest of the evening, EMU holding their last lead on the night midway through the second set. Toledo will go on to score 8 unanswered points, setting the Rockets up with 21-14 lead, before Olivia Vance helped to claim the set victory with a kill. The third set, the Rockets got a lead immediately and wouldn't lose it for the entire set, maintaining a minimum of a 4-point lead in the set. The Rockets volleyball team had no issues in the third set, winning 25-16. Sophomore Taylor Alt was able to lead the team with 6 kills in the set. Much like the third set, the Rockets just flat out dominated the Eagles in the fourth set, scoring 16 of the first 19 points in the sets. Much like the third set, the Rockets just flat out dominated the Eagles in the fourth set, scoring 16 of the first 15 points in the set. This helped the Midnight Blue and Gold to cruise to a 25-10 victory in the set, which would end up helping the Rockets win the match for the evening. Junior Sinya Ulava once again had a big night, being able to get 14 digs in the match. The cross-country MAC championship was recently in Ypsilanti, Michigan on October 30th, and the Rockets runners were able to use the poor weather to their advantage. Both the men's and women's teams came ready for the long race, especially the women's team, who came into the race as the heavy MAC favorites. Being the first-ranked team in the MAC, even with the high expectations for the women, it is fair to say those expectations had been shattered. The Rockets were able to get into an early lead, with freshman Joey Churcher leading the charge, and never losing the top spot. Churcher finished the race with a time of 20 minutes and 23 seconds, and was not the only Rocket to finish in the top 10, with 4 other Rockets finishing in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm happy for them.
The men's cross-country team ran as well too, with Jacob Harris notching the highest finish for the Rockets, placing 4th in the meet, which helped Toledo to finish the meet in 2nd place. That would be the highest MAC championship ever for the Rockets.
So we all kind of believed in each other today and knew that we were going to work hard to try and get our best finish ever, whether that was winning or 3rd, which is kind of where we came in at, so it was great to get 2nd overall.
Following the meet, Coach McDonough had nothing but positive things to say about the Rockets' efforts in the MAC championship.
Historic day, really, for the Rockets, and I'm super proud of our staff and our athletes. And we've come super far in a short period of time, and this feels like a culmination of like a ton of hard work.
Churcher took home with her a couple pieces of hardware during the ceremony, with not just winning an individual title, but also winning the MAC Freshman of the Year. Coach McDonough also won an award after being named the MAC Coach of the Year. Toledo featured several runners who were named to the All-MAC team for both the men and women's teams. Rockets can hope to use everything they accomplished at the MAC Championship as a momentum moving forward, as they prepare for the NCAA Great Lakes Cross Country Regional, which took place yesterday, November 12th, in Evansville, Indiana. The Toledo men's basketball team has high hopes for this upcoming season, where they hope not only to win the MAC, but also accomplish something they haven't done since 1980, make the NCAA tournament.
Well, over the last 8 years, I think you go all-encompassing, meaning winning championships, winning games, graduating players, GPA, doing well in the classroom. It's all-encompassing. I say we're the best program in the league.
With the 2021-22 season upon us, the Rockets are hoping to have another talented team on the court for this upcoming season.
Well, we got 3, in my opinion, all-conference returning type guys. And we added an impact transfer from Boise State, and Raheem Moss redshirted last year. Very talented group of freshmen. So I'm excited about our depth and excited about our athleticism.
Sophomore guard Ryan Rolls, one of the young leaders of the team, was recently named as the preseason first-team All-MAC player, and depending on who you ask, they might tell you a couple different traits that help separate Rollins from others.
My playmaking ability, I can score off the dribble, I can play off the ball and score, I can create for my teammates.
He's very coachable, wants to learn, wants to improve, wants to know what he can get better at, but clearly a guy that's a special talent.
Within a season, a number of things can happen, but the Rockets are hoping to continue draining the expectations.
We want to win the conference, MAC conference, and then win the tournament conference, which will, take us to the NCAA tournament.
The first official home game for the men's basketball team will be today, Saturday, November 13th, where they take on the Detroit Mercy Titans in Savage Arena. We also want to take a moment to say thank you to all the men and women who have served and continue to serve our country. So again, thank you for all that you do. And that's it for this week, and thank you for joining us today. For more news, make sure you tune in every Saturday at 7:45 a.m. and you can catch UT10 live every Thursday at noon or watch it on WGTE Public Media Fridays at 6:30 p.m. For 88.3 FM WXUT, I'm Matthew Revilla. Have a great day.